What's happening, everybody? These are the temperatures of a DT Ram cruising down the highway after installing a 180 degree thermostat. Typically, stock temperatures would be somewhere around 203 degrees for the coolant temperature, and for the oil temp, somewhere around 222. So I wanted to give you guys a bit of an idea for the difference for what you may see after installing that 180 degree thermostat. So for reference, I've been driving the truck for about 45 minutes or so, just steady state driving, not a whole lot of traffic. Ambient temperature, if you didn't notice, was about 85 degrees. The main thing about this, though, is if you have a DT Ram, you will absolutely have to render the shutters either inoperable, the way that I did by disconnecting them, or you're going to have to remove them completely. Either way, you're going to have to either be able to fool the computer into thinking that they're still there, or you're going to have tuning software to make that CEL, the check engine light, not come up. It will recognize that the shutters are disconnected, and it's going to be a little bit concerned about that. So anyway, you want those things to be open, and they default to open. So cruising down the highway, again, 185 degrees on the coolant temp, oil temperature around 201 to 203 is basically what you're going to be looking for. But again, you are going to have to make sure those shutters are open or removed. You're also going to need to do that if you're planning on installing either the Ram Air cold intake or cold air intake from Dodge, from Ram, or for like a Ram also. So just other things to consider along the way if you're thinking about going this route. I can tell you this, the truck does seem to run a little bit better with the cooler thermostat installed. I can also tell you that it really makes a whole lot of difference as a daily driver, but the truck, from the quarter-mile runs that I've made with it, with the draggy, it does make a difference. As a matter of fact, for about every 12, maybe 14 degrees of coolant temperature, it's almost a tenth of a second on the draggy. It's pretty much set your clock by that. So just something to think about also if you're, I don't know, into that kind of thing, draggy or drag racing or whatever. In the quarter mile, at least, it does seem to make a difference. The other thing that I noticed is in data logging, one of the things that I noticed is with the cooler temperature, the truck is less susceptible to knock. Basically running the same fuel from the same gas station, hoping for the same fuel quality. That is going to be a little bit subject to whatever kind of fuel you're putting in the thing. But the truck does seem to show less spark knock, or at least knock retard, short-term knock retard, with the lower thermostat, especially when it gets really hot. So it's not anything that you would really notice with a stock truck, but if you're paying attention to data logs, you might notice it. I can tell you at wide open throttle, it certainly does seem to make a difference, and it would make a difference right around 5,200 RPM, where I'm making no changes to the timing table and actually throwing a little bit of fuel at it to get the truck where it really wanted to be in terms of performance. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit more data to play with. This truck's a lot of fun. I've loved the journey so far with this truck. Again, working with HP tuners, getting that fan control to work now. Everything is working great. Fans come on, turn off exactly when I want them to, so that has been a huge deal for me. But that's some data for you. Cruising down the highway. I did a traffic video a little bit earlier that'll show you basically what it looks like stuck in traffic. But aside from that, that's a wrap. Hopefully that helped you out. Catch you on the next one. Adios.